Hello, welcome to another video. This one is obviously on the M48, finished at last. I've been messing around with it for a while, and I think with vehicles, certainly with me, you can end up spending lots and lots and lots of times adding more and more detail, and it just becomes a little bit self-defeating. So I've decided to stop where I'm at. I probably will add some other maybe little bits and bobs to it. I'll tinker with it, but I'm reasonably happy with how it's turned out. Paint wise, with vehicles certainly in 28mm. Basically, the steps: I prime it, do a colour modulation of the basic colour. Obviously, with this, it's green. If you look on a lot of forums and web pages, there's absolutely masses of discussion about accurate colours. The way I look at it, once you've weathered it, the colours alter anyway. So what I've used for the basic greens, the Ammo Olive Drab modulation set. I appreciate that at the period American Marine Corps vehicles were done in a darker green, but as I've said, with the weather and the elements, it alters anyway, and I'm quite happy with it. I've then followed my normal technique, so I think I put a filter on it, a brown filter. I've then used a pin wash to bring the detail out, done some chipping and various things, but I'll discuss that when we go down and have a look at the vehicle. Obviously, with it being an Empress model, the Empress crew fitting it really nice. I was going to add the driver, ended up deciding not to, so that's why the driver's hatch is shut. But the two figures in the turret, they fit really nicely. Paul Hicks has sculpted them. Really impressed with them. They look really nice. I'm really pleased with the way they've keyed in with the vehicle. So we'll now go down at the turntable. Before we do that, I'll apologise because the vehicle's so big. I wasn't able to get it fully blued out, if that makes sense, so you can see a bit of the background. Not really much we can do about that, sort of. Alex sorting out a slightly bigger shooting studio area, but that might be on the cards as well. So we'll pop down to the turntable and we'll have a look at the vehicle. Right, so this is what I've done. I've done it as a fairly famous vehicle, Charlie 2-3. You'll see it in loads of photographs and in loads of images. Marine Corps M48. As I mentioned initially, primed the vehicle, did the colour modulation. I've used the olive drab colour, and then I've went on to I banged the filter on. It's had pin wash, some chipping, and then obviously the dust. After we've had a look at the vehicle, I'll put a couple of stills up of the products I used, just so that you're aware. Very much a temptation to add additional storage and add loads of stuff, but I had to draw a line under it and just think, it's very easy for me to get drawn into the detail, and I end up spending ages and ages and ages doing it. So I'm quite happy with the way it's turned out. As I mentioned in the introduction, the figures, Paul Hicks figures, as you can see, they fit in really nicely with the vehicle. I'm really pleased with the way they've turned out, and I've just went not too heavily filthy, obviously, with it being located in Hue during the fighting there. But all in all, I'm reasonably happy with the way it's turned out. Right, and these are a few stills. I'll just let you have a look at them. Something see it a bit clearer than the turntable. Right, so this is the ammo modulation olive drop modulation kit that I used. Obviously the details, you can see the serial numbers on the photo. Really nice, good little kit. Right, and these are the other products I use. So the dark brown wash for the pin wash, streak and grime, which is a great colour, and the Kursk soil for doing the dust. Right, there we are. Pleased with the way it's turned out. Thing with 28mm, the way when me and Alex tend to do sort of skirmish stuff, you know, in World War II, nothing much more than platoon level, so you don't need loads of vehicles, or anything, or games become unbalanced. So it certainly hasn't been a massive chore, just doing the one. I wouldn't want to do a platoon or anything like that of them, like that, but anyway. So what's up next? We're going to at long last start the Arnhem stuff. So we're going to do a number of videos on that. Probably the first one, I've got both the Kickstarters 1 and 2, so I think I'll be laying them out on the base and just having a look at exactly what we've got. Been doing a little bit of research on airborne Jeeps and insignia. So I think we've got all together, we've probably got 6 or 7 Jeeps to do between me and Alex. But we'll probably be doing them, I've spoken to them about, I think we'll probably just do them in one go, so the airbrush, so they'll all look sort of similar, if that makes sense. So that's it. As ever, if you've got any questions, shout up. I'll do my best to answer them. Coming up in the future, not that far from Salute, I suppose. I think Salute's only 5 weeks away or something like that. Me and Alex will be down there. We're down there the night before, so we'll probably be... Bit of a funny story, we normally fly down, but for whatever reason on the Friday, bearing in mind we were looking to book it months ago, the Friday was a crazy price going down on Friday morning flying from Newcastle, so we've ended up, we're coming down on the train, but we're flying back because we've got the flights, British Airways flights from Heathrow to Newcastle for £31 each, which is a bit crazy, which was way cheaper than the train. But that's just sometimes the way it is. So we're in the Premier in at Excel. So if you, that was just me light falling over. So if you're down that way, if you stay in the hotel and you fancy a pint night before and a natter, shout up and we'll do our best to sort it out. Okay. So once again, thanks very much. Thanks for all the support. We'll see you next time.